Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. It's a beautiful morning on the docks. And we're going to talk a little bit about docks, marinas, liveaboards, and just some of the weirder details and some of the stuff to think about, especially if you're on the less rich side of things. Here's the docks. Wonderful. All very pretty. Lots of wonderful boats. Some of the boats haven't been touched in a while, but surprisingly, for as far removed as this marina is from an urban environment, there are a lot of boats out here that get a lot of attention. You'll see this boat right behind me here, Pearson 303. It's a 30-foot sailboat. The couple who lives there, basically my neighbors, they're there every weekend, 2 to 3 days. It depends on when you get off work and how soon you can get down. And they just put her around, enjoy themselves, read, do their cookouts, party a little. Very, very nice older couple, and they're just fantastic. And a lot of people do this. A lot of people will have a boat, and they won't sail it a lot or motor it a lot. As you get further down into this shady section over here, you'll see the covered slips. There's a lot of power boats there, trawlers, day boats, party boats. People really like it, and they'll spend a lot of time on the boat, and the boat doesn't necessarily move a lot. Most of the time, the goal is to have a boat that actually leaves the slip at least a little bit, right? There's a very fancy custom boat over here on our other side of our neighbor slips, and it is a fantastic thing, and it goes out almost every weekend, and it is just one of the best trawlers I've ever seen. A lot of custom work has been done to it. So we're here at a marina. We're living on a boat. There's 3 of us and a dog. It's Tartan 34, which isn't really all that small for the purpose because of the layout of the boat. There's more to a boat than the length. There's a lot that has to do with interior design, fitting, beam, how wide the boat is, how deep the boat is. There's a lot that goes into this. As a sailboat, the Tartan is still a little bit on this tight side. It's set up as a cruiser, and that means things are a little bit smaller. Your available counter space, for example, is very limited. We'll talk about that in a video soon, because we got to talk about refrigeration and how I'm dealing with that with limited counter space. But for right now, we're just talking about being in a marina, being in a liveaboard. We're on a sailboat. Sailboats are cheap. A lot of people live aboard on sailboats because they are cheap. Sometimes you can get the boat for less than the monthly price of the slip. Not in our case, because we're honestly in a low rent area. This is a very far removed area. It's not near a city. We're not near, Baltimore or Annapolis or somewhere north or east on Chesapeake Bay. So we're way out in the middle of nowhere, and things are cheaper. And you'll find yourself potentially in a liveaboard situation with a fixed income or a low income, and you'll be out here. And there are things that I would like to suggest that make it work better, make it more survivable, make it more happy. I don't know how to describe it. There are ways to make it better. And one of the things is to do your boat projects. Keep working on the boat. Make the boat a little better every day. Some of the projects are going to be very expensive and out of your budget if you are on a budget. And that's okay. That's going to happen. Don't worry about it. Get to them when you can get to them. Be patient. Sometimes you'll find that the materials you need end up on a free table, or in a used chandlery boat store later on. So don't worry about it too much. But as much as possible, try to keep the ship shape. And that is, I think that's the biggest single thing I want to talk about with liveaboards. I want you to look at this sail right here. There's a sail there with a sail cover that is falling apart. That boat has not been visited, as far as I know, according to other people, in over a year. Now, we've only been here at this marina for 3 weeks. This is not my first time living aboard, so I'm dealing with, relearning some things, but I also have some inside knowledge about how the psychology works. As a liveaboard, someone might get into that boat. It's a 36-foot Hunter. It's not in great repair. Someone might go ahead and give $12,000-$15,000 for that, make payments, get into a debt cycle, and live on it, and never just take that cover off, raise the sail, flake the sail, get a new $40 cheap one-season cover off of Amazon, whatever the solution is. Clean up the fabric for the Dodger, do the work to try to make it more ship shape. You have to do that because it has an effect on everything about your life and your attitude. Cleaning the decks is important. I'd like to show you that, for example, our cockpit, we have not done any varnishing yet. We're still peeling and scraping the old varnish out, but the cockpit itself is clean. It gets cleaned. And that's just part of, it's part of a boat. It's kind of like doing your house wash. You do wash your house, right? No. Yeah, you gotta do your house wash. Trying to figure out how to say this exactly. Our boat right now has some mechanical problems, so it's not very easy to move out of the marina, but the idea of living on a boat is that it should move out of the marina at least a couple times a year, possibly every week. Even as a liveaboard, even if you want to be in the marina, even if you have a kitchen on the dock and a really nice setup, which there's plenty of nice setups out here, you want to be able to go somewhere. You want to be able to take off. I think it makes a big difference in your attitude and your quality of life. We're working on the engine. We have sails. We are working on the boat as a whole. If we needed to, without an engine, we could pop out of the slip, pull ourselves along the pilings out to the channel and go. We'd be dependent on the wind, but we could do it. It wouldn't be fun right now. It's not the engineless part. It's just that the sailing skills with the boat aren't there for the whole crew right now. There's another little boat, day sailor, that everyone's practicing on, and that's going to make a difference. And that's probably something, if you are on a liveaboard boat that doesn't move easily, you still want to try to make it better. Every day, just a little bit better. Do some cleaning, varnish a piece of wood, fix a stripped screw, something every day. You may feel like you're not keeping up because boats have a lot of projects, but doing something is better than not doing something. Do something every day, clean something every day. And then, if it's at all possible, get something that you can move around, even if it's just a kayak, a rowboat, a smaller day sailor, something, and go enjoy the water. I think that makes a huge difference in the idea. You're living on the water. You're not just living in a trailer that floats, okay? Treating a liveaboard sailboat, let me get out of the sun here. Treating a liveaboard sailboat as if it is a houseboat on a river, I think is a bad idea. It's okay to have a houseboat on a river, but when you're talking about a sailboat or a powerboat, you really want to treat it as if it is a vessel, as if it is on the water, as if the water is important to the lifestyle. the life situation. If you're going to be boat people, be boat people. And part of that is to have that kayak, that canoe, that little dinky dinghy, the pea pod, something that you can get on and go out in the water. I think that's the biggest bonus to your quality of life that you're going to see. This is going to make a big difference. Everything about life on the water gets better if you can get a little bit involved. Out here, there's a lot of other things that you can do. Look at me. There we go. The sun is in my eyes now, so I'm just gonna not make you watch my face. You know, out here, there are crab pots. There are oyster floats. You can grow your own oysters. There's a lot of stuff you can do to get involved in the water. And that helps a lot too. But mostly, you know, get that first little kayak. Get that first little experience of doing something, being in the water. It'll help a lot. We're going to talk about prepper stuff and other things later in another video. This is just a morning video as I get my office ready to do edits and make project videos. Stay sideways and enjoy your morning.